guys, welcome back to I'm Uniquely Made, and I'm your host Monique, and today I am doing another recreated look. So this is the second recreated look on my channel. My first one was by the woman Sydney Lillian here on YouTube. That was back in February for Valentine's Day. And now I'm doing a recreated look by a young lady named Tammi Clarke, who is here on YouTube as well. So by the time you're watching this, it's probably been a couple of days, but I had posted if you follow me on Instagram, I posted a picture and I did this very bright makeup look, this eyeshadow look. And like I said, that was inspired by Tammi Clarke, and I didn't record it because I didn't think I could do it. So that won't happen again, because clearly I did it and I nailed it, and I was so proud of myself. This was the first time that I actually really tried colors, as far as like vibrant colors. I never really try colors. I just stick to a more neutral tone, golds, browns, blacks, and champagnes and things like that. So this particular look was way out my comfort zone. But I'm so happy I tried it, because I feel like it unlocked something in me. I'm like, I can do this. I can do more color looks, and it just got me excited. So I wanted to actually recreate that look today, because a lot of people liked it, and so did myself. But I wanted you guys to see just how easy it is. Like, I thought it would be, even though I watched the video before doing it, I thought it would be very hard to like blend and kind of like combine the two shades or the multiple shades, but it really wasn't hard at all. And it just made me feel like if I can do this, then I can do anything. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start on the eyes and then basically just do the rest of my face. Because it's a colorful look, I'm definitely going to start with my eyes first, so that way if any eyeshadow falls off the brush, I can just easily get it up off of my face. If you start with like your face makeup done and then eyeshadow gets on your face makeup, it's really hard to get off. So if you're doing colorful looks, definitely start with the eyes first. And I'm not going to go into much details on like the products that I'm using, but you know, I'll just give like an overview of what I'm using, like a quick introduction. I'm not really going to go into detail. So I'm just going to start off with my eyebrows, like I did when I did the look. I just started off with my eyebrows. So here we go. And for my eyebrows, I'm just using a Benefit Cosmetics eyebrow pencil. And to clean up my brows, I'm going in with my MAC Studio Finish Concealer in the shade NW35. I'm just going underneath my eyebrow with that, just to carve them out and get that clean, waxed look. Just like that. Now usually I would use that same concealer to use as a eyeshadow base, but I'm actually going to go in with my Juvia's Place primer in the shade 2. So I'm going to use this as my base, because of course when you're applying bright colors, you want to apply a base to your eyelid to kind of make the color pop. Some people use white. I also have that shade, which is something I probably should have used instead of this, but one step at a time, because I am not used to it. Okay, so I'm just going to take that and apply it around like my inner corner and up until where I want my eyeshadow to stop. So just like that. And it's okay if you go beyond the point, because we can always clean it up or if it gets a little messy, we can always clean it up. So that makes a nice canvas for our eyeshadow. Now I'm going to go in and set this primer with a powder because it's just harder for me to put, like, to blend eyeshadow on top of liquid. So I just go in and make sure any creases are out of my eyelid, and then I go in with a setting brush and some powder. It doesn't matter really what powder. I just use this face powder that I no longer use all over my face. I just use this. Sorry for my phone. I just use that and set it just like this. So that way when I go to apply my shadow, I'm applying it over powder. But you see how, like, it didn't change the color or anything? It's still very bright and vibrant. So this is where we get into the eyeshadows. I look crazy, don't I? But so Tammi Clarke went in with the Juvia's Place Wahala 2 palette. I'm about to say pirate. So these are the colors. They're gorgeous as always with Juvia's Place. I have a few of their palettes, and I just basically love every single one of them. But this one in particular is like the most colorful one that I have. So she went in with this blue up here, a green down here, some like icy metallic shades up here, and like this glitter down here. And when I took this glitter off, it took forever, okay? And I only used a little bit. It didn't take forever. It just like smeared all over my face. And I only used a little bit in my inner tear duct, but nonetheless, the look came out beautiful. Alright, y'all, so let's go ahead and get started. So just to let y'all know that I'm not a makeup artist, okay? I am self-taught. So anything that you see here might, you know, if you get it done somewhere else or whatever, they might not do it the same way, you know? So I just do things my way, and that's okay. So like I said, she went in first with this like royal blue shade, which is called Dream. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I did yesterday. So I'm taking some of that shade on like a angled brush and just gonna start packing that right here. Okay, and then bringing it inward and up. Now, it looks messy at first, you know, but it takes a little finessing when you're dealing with shades like this. Because you have to blend. I really wish I recorded it yesterday, because baby, now I'm basically going to stop halfway. Yesterday I had some trouble with this blue. I guess because that was the first time that I actually used blue. I was having like a little bit of trouble with the like application. It seemed to be very spotty and splotchy. But today it seems a little bit better. I don't know, because my base is a little bit better, but okay. So she applied that just like that. So I'm gonna put it on the other eye, almost like creating, I don't know, it looks like an arrow, kind of like. That's exactly what I'm like creating, just so that way when I apply the next shade, it can like blend together. See how vibrant that looks? Woo! Okay, so I think I'm done with this blue shade. Again, we can always go back and add more. And yeah, so always start off small, so that way when you go back, you can add some more. Next, I'm going to take this shade called Jealous in the palette, which is all the way down here. It's kind of like a teal, kind of like the color of my shirt that I have on today. So I'm just going to dab into that on a like almost like a definer brush almost, and I'm just going to stamp that on in this area. And I just go in and stamp it on. And I might bring up the shades a little bit higher towards my brow bone, but I like to start off low so that way I know where it's going. I'm going to kind of bring it in towards my inner eye, into that like crevice, and start like packing it just a little bit higher. And now since I packed that a little bit higher, now I can go back in with my blue and take that a little bit higher as well. And then kind of like mesh the two. I'm taking a little bit of green, a little bit of the jealous color to mesh the two. Okay, I mean it still can have like a like defined line, but not so much like just a straight line. And I literally was going back and forth into each color because sometimes once you blend it, you kind of lose some color. So I was literally going back and forth. See? Doesn't that look good already? And we're not even done yet. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye. Okay, so back on this side, like I said, I'm just coming in and just blending that down into my inner part of my eye. And there we have it. I'm pretty much done that part. Like, wasn't that easy? Like, come on. When I was doing it, I'm like, this ain't hard. You know, like, this is not hard. I made it more than what it needed to be. But again, you can always go in and add more product after you feel like you blended and it just went away a little bit. Definitely add more. Here is now the next shade. This next shade called Money Honey. No, it's not called Money Honey. It's called Money. Right here, let me swatch it for you guys. It's like a duochrome. And it shifts from like green to blue. So I was like, yes, okay. So I'm actually gonna use my finger to begin with. I always most of the time, I use my finger to apply shadows like this because it's just so much easier. And the color payoff that you get is just so much better. But I'm going to go in with that in that space right here that we did not apply eyeshadow, and I'm going to also bring it up a little bit higher than that. So first I'm going to place it right there. And since my eyes are hooded, I'm going to come up just a little bit and tap it over that blue. Okay, do the same thing to the other eye. And sometimes I do like to go in with a brush just to fill in any areas where my finger can't get. So like towards like my inner corner. Ooh, excuse me, I burped. And then like just to add a little bit more product. But for some reason, like your finger, it just does most of the work. So what I did, now she stopped there, okay? But I added just a little bit more of another color. It's this color Venom right here, which is also a, let me swatch that for you, which is also a foil shade. And it's very similar to the other one, but it is more silvery, I think. I don't know, but I'm gonna take that and go right on top basically of what I already laid down. So I'm gonna take that on my finger and just like swipe it right in the center. It just adds a little bit more brightness. And I just love the way that looks. See how it just adds like a pop? I don't know, I just love the way that looks. Okay, so we are getting somewhere. All right. Okay, so the next shade she went in with was the shade Fame right here, which is like an icy white or something like that. It has to be, or like really just silver. No, because then this is silver. So I think it's like an icy white. Let me show you guys. Ooh. Yeah, definitely like an icy white. Very pretty color. And she went in with this shade right in the inner part of the eye. So I'm going to take a brush. I'm using the same brushes I used yesterday when I did my makeup. I'm going to take that and pop it right here in the center. Not in the center, in the inner corner. And that just gives like a little highlight. I love the way that looks. And I just build it up as much as I like. And this is just like a base for the glitter that we're gonna put down. So next one is this pressed glitter right here called Gobi or Gobe or something like that. So I'm gonna take this same brush and just dip into it lightly. It comes like right on the brush easily, and just tap that right on top of the shade Fame, just to add some little oompa, as my mother would say, oompa. And I'm gonna stop right there because sometimes I like to go back and add a little more product to my eyes, like after my face makeup is done. I make sure I carefully do not get anything on my face. But yeah, I'm just gonna stop right there. And to get off this like eyeshadow on my lower lash line, I'm gonna take some micellar water that I have in here and spray it on like a little cotton ball and just gently get in the corners of my eye. All right, so that is the eye. So moving on to face, I'm gonna go ahead and prep my face. I'm gonna use this e.l.f. illuminating primer, my like go-to. This what gives me that kind of like glow from within. And I'll just blend that in. Then I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Instant Pore Eraser. I'm on a hunt for a pore filler, another pore filler. I've had this for quite some time. I'm realizing my pores are getting much larger. So anyway, I'm just on a hunt for that. All right, and to help conceal some of these dark spots, I'm actually going in with the orange concealer, which kind of like helps cancel out some of the dark spots. So I just go in with a light layer, okay? It also helps cancel out any redness. The way I'm using it, I might as well just use it as a foundation. And then I just let that dry down a little bit before I like blend it out, because if I don't let it dry down, it's just gonna move all over the place, so it would be no point. So once you let it dry down, get a little tacky, I can blend it out so that way it can pretty much be like make a difference under my face makeup. All right, so now that that is probably dried up a little bit, I'm just going to take my finger and kind of like pat it and blend it out. I color correct when I'm like doing, like when I am doing like not dramatic looks, but like looks where maybe I'm gonna be taking photos or just going out like on a normal basis. I don't do this. Okay, for foundation, I'm taking two shades, which is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting in the shade Golden. I don't think they make this anymore. And then my Milani 2-in-1 Conceal and Perfect in the shade Tan or number 9. So I just took both of these yesterday and blended the two because I feel like this Clinique is a little bit too dark and the Milani is just a little bit too light. I don't know if the Milani is really that much of a difference, but I don't know. When I used it all over my face, I kind of looked funny and I really didn't like it, but I don't know. Could be now since the weather is warming up. It looks a little funny. So let me blend this out. I'm just using my, I forget, it's like a buffing brush from BH Cosmetics, smell like Holy Grail. And I just like to buff that in place. I don't like to smear it or anything. I just like buff it in place. And I pretty much like try to avoid my under eye when I'm blending out my foundation because I am going to go in with concealer and I don't want it to be so kicked up over there with product. So I don't go over my whole ear. I just go like towards like my hairline. I'm going to take my wet sponge that's wrung out and I'm just going to dab over my face to soak up any extra product, if any. And it's pretty much not soaking up anything, but it's also like just makes it even as well. Okay, so remember when I went in with the concealer underneath my eyes? So now I'm gonna go in with a concealer that's closer to my skin complexion. This is the NC45. And I'm just gonna apply this right on top of my brow. Again, trying to give it that look that I was just waxed. I'm not gonna go too heavy on this. Now don't just leave it like that. I take like a little eyeshadow brush that's kind of dense and I just blend the edges out. Not near my eyebrow, like right above where I placed that concealer, and blend that into my foundation. So that way it's still light above my brows. So now I'm going to go in with my under eye highlight, and today I'm using my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the color Cool Tan. I actually need to get another one of these. This is actually like my perfect shade, and I never really knew that. Like, it's like my perfect shade for my under eye. I only have one of these. I don't know why, but I take that and I run it in like a triangular shape and just diffuse it towards the bottom. Okay, I'm also going to take a little bit of that and run it down the bridge of my nose just to bring some highlight on my nose. And right here, I tell you, when you have a bold eye like this, you gotta bring the drama. I don't normally do all this on a normal day, but when you have a bold eye, you got to bring the drama. Now, of course, this is a concealer, obviously, so I'm gonna let it dry again. Not get completely dry. Let it dry down, you know, so that way when I go blend it out, I'm not just smearing it all over the place. The same thing I did with the orange concealer, all right? And while that's drying down, I'm going to go in with, this is a foundation stick, but I use it as a bronzing stick. It's a couple of shades darker than me, and I just bronze with this. I go into areas where I want to bronze or contour, which is basically right here, like by the way, this, in that shape. Okay, and then on my forehead, and I bring it basically right here. I'm gonna take a little bit for the sake of drama under here to kind of give me some shadow for my cheekbones or my, what is this, jawbone. All right, now I usually would take it on this side of my face, but I have a whole bang right here, so it would be no point. But I'm going to take some of that and blend it a little bit as far as I can. But yeah, this is where I bronze and bring back some depth into my face. All right, so now that that concealer has dried down, I'm gonna take the corner end of my beauty sponge and just, I'm not even really doing much. I'm just blending it out, but I'm not trying to like disrupt anything that's going on. I'm just simply blending it out. Like, I don't even want to blend too much because you will start like taking product off, but I just want to leave it right where it's at, but make it uniformed. I meant to take a little bit more of this contour stick and kind of run it down my nose. Ooh, that's a little crooked. Okay. And this just helps like give the illusion of a much thinner nose. And once I feel like it's blended out enough, I am going to set this with a powder. So I'm using this Makeup Revolution baking powder, which I'm going to set my concealer with. And I just took some out and placed it a little bit right here. I'm just going to go in, kind of wipe off the excess and set under my eye. And you're just setting everywhere you put concealer. The lighter shade, not the darker shade yet, because we didn't blend that out. I'm going to take some on the tip of it and run it down the tip of my nose because I put the lighter shade right there. Then I'm going to take it in between my brows to set that in right here. And then a little bit on my chin. And even though I didn't put any right here, I'm going to set in my smile lines. See how it just disappears, but it just helps with my smile lines because when I go to smile, it gets kind of crackly and crusty. Woo. So now we're going to blend out this concealer, not concealer. Well, yeah. Well, what is it? This is bronzer. We're going to blend this out. Okay, so I'm going to use this. What is this? This is the Expert Face Brush by Real Technique, and I'm just going to simply stipple this just like that, just in this area, and then come down here and this kind of creates some shadows to look like my jawbone is defined. So to set that bronzer, I'm actually going to go in with a powder bronzer and just further set that and add just a little bit more definition. So I'm going to take like this angle brush and go in and on top of that just add a little bit more definition, but to also set it as well. I'm also going to take a little bit of bronzer and run it down like where I put that darker shade. Kind of set that as well. So to set the rest of the face, I'm going in with my face powder. And that's to set like the foundation and stuff. But you only need like a light dusting of this. So I'm going in with my Fit Me, again, another holy grail, Fit Me 330 Maybelline, and just slightly dust that all over the face just to set everything. And a look that I have been loving lately is going under my bronzer or contour with the same setting powder that I use to set my concealer with. Go right underneath and clean up just a little bit, just to bring some light in that area. And this helps bring my bronzer a little bit more forward. And then I take that powder brush I use to apply my all over face powder, and I just simply go over that. See? And just blend the two. So now I'm going to go in with some blush, and since I'm doing some pink under the eye, I am going to go in with like a pinky blush or like a mauve blush. So I'm just going to place that, and I just kind of like blend that up with the contour. And then I'm going to go in with highlighter, This is typically too light for me, but because this look is very cool tone, I didn't want to go with like a gold tone highlighter. So I feel like this is like a champagne but much lighter. So yeah, I'm gonna be very light-handed with this because again, it's very light on my face, but I feel like it goes well with the look because it's a cool tone look. And then after I apply my face mist, I go in just with a little bit more as well. And I'm also going to apply this highlighter right in the arch of my eyebrow. And that's exactly what I did yesterday. I was like, I feel like this just ties in so well with the look. So for the lower lash line, she basically used the same two colors that I have right here, but added pink. So I'm gonna go in on this like little pencil brush and go into this shade Too Much right here, like this hot pink color, and just apply that into the inner portion of my eye. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. Before that, she went in with a eyeliner, but she went with a more hot pink eyeliner, but I don't have that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use what I got, which is this ColourPop gel liner in the shade Good Reef. So yeah, I'm just gonna line that, and now I can go in with the pink shade and smoke out that lower lash line. I'm gonna stop halfway, and bring it inward and stop halfway. Now I'm just bringing it below my lash line, guys, like right below it. I'm going on another pencil brush, and I'm gonna take the blue shade first because I want that closest to my lash line rather than below it. And I'm basically gonna like join the upper lash, like not the upper lash, the blue eyeshadow right here. I'm gonna join that at that corner, right there, and again just blend that in with the pink. But now I'm gonna go in with the green, and then I'll just manipulate it till I get to a point of where I'm like satisfied. So I'm going with the green on like a flat one now and kind of get right underneath that blue and smoke it out. Okay, so before I go in with mascara for my lower lash line and my upper lash line, I'm just going to douse my face in some setting spray. Then I'm going to turn my fan on. And now's the time when like the highlighter is, well, when after I spray that Fix Plus on my face, not Fix Plus, what is this? Continuous setting mist. I'll go in with a little bit more highlighter because it just, for some reason, like when the face is wet, it just looks much better. I'll look much more dewy and glowy. Okay, and now we can go in with some mascara. I like this one by L'Oreal. It's in Carmen Black. It's the telescopic because the wand is just so small. I love it. Okay, so for my lip color, I went in with this NYX lip pencil in the shade Cold Brew. I was gonna say coffee, but it's Cold Brew. And I just lined them up. And then I went in, where is it? With this Ofra Cosmetics in the shade Oh My Rai. This is a liquid lip. And I went just like that, okay? And then just a little bit. Just to give it a little bit of light. And sometimes I go back in with the pencil. And then I'm gonna go on top of that with just some lip gloss. This is some generic lip gloss from the hair store. Nothing major. So this is the final result. I like the lashes I used yesterday, but this will do. Not too bad, but the other ones yesterday was a little bit more curly, but that's okay. So again, this is exactly what I did yesterday. I feel like it probably even came out better today, but I absolutely love it. Like, I'm gonna do more looks, not like this, but like just more dramatic looks, because I can do it. Like, I feel much more confident now, and it just was so easy. Like, I thought it was gonna be so hard, but it was literally so easy. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, sis. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed recreating this look by Tammi Clarke. And yeah, I'll try to have the things that I use listed below, but if the main thing I'm gonna have listed is the eyeshadow palette. But if you have anything similar, you know, just go ahead and use that. But I just absolutely love it. I don't think I would have came up with a look like this on my own. Definitely not, because I would have never thought to use these two colors. So yeah, I'm just so glad that I stumbled upon that video, and then since I already had the palette, I was like, let me go ahead and recreate this look. If you like this series of like me recreating looks, please give me a thumbs up, because that would encourage me to create more looks. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye sis. I'm uniquely